Feds knew about over $1 billion in human trafficking transactions after Epstein's death. That's what I've got for you today, so let's get into it. Recent court disclosures indicate that federal authorities had knowledge of over $1 billion in vicious human trafficking transactions connected to the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. They were told this by J.P. Morgan after Epstein got pilloried in prison. And if they weren't covering up for all these government officials, billionaires, and everything that were on this island, they would have actually investigated this and turned over the names of the people that were on the plane that flew over to Epstein Island, people that were on the island. They would release all that and convict these people of having sex with children and disgusting pigs that they are and everything else that they were doing over there. But yet, no, you don't hear anything of it. People let it go right out the windows and nobody talks about it anymore. So let's keep going. These revelations date back 16 years, have emerged in the wake of Epstein's death, in 2019, shedding a new light on the sinister activities of the notorious sex offender. Mimi Liu, representing the U.S. Virgin Islands, made this explosive revelation during a recent hearing in Manhattan federal court on Thursday. She argued that J.P. Morgan Chase, the largest bank in the United States, had notified the Treasury Department about these transactions after Epstein was pilloried in prison, adding a layer of complexity to an already contentious legal battle. Liu didn't mince words, stating Epstein's entire business with J.P. Morgan and J.P. Morgan's entire business with Epstein was human trafficking. She made the assertion while advocating for a summary court judgment in favor of the plaintiffs, the U.S. Virgin Islands. The $190 million lawsuit alleges that the bank played a role in facilitating Epstein's sex trafficking of young women during his time as J.P. Morgan's customer, spanning from 1998 to 2013. So you got one of the biggest banks in this country helping with sex trafficking. So what's that tell you, people? For all you idiot liberals out there, the government is corrupt and people with money are corrupt, doing what they want, thinking they can get away with everything. So if you don't see that, you're blind and you're an idiot. Liu highlighted a $9 million series of transactions involving payments to women and questionable withdrawals from Epstein's account at the bank. These transactions were purportedly linked to the facilitation of over 20,000 sexual encounters, considering Epstein's pattern of dispersing several $100s for each sexual liaison. J.P. Morgan was a full-service bank for Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking. Liu asserted during the hearing the disgraced financier was awaiting a trial on a federal sex trafficking charge when he met his demise in a Manhattan jail cell, an incident officially classified as a suicide, which is a lie. All of a sudden cameras go down, nobody has knowledge of anything, nobody did their rounds like they're supposed to. He got pilloried because he had all the information of who was on his plane, who was on that island, and they needed to silence him. That's all it is. The Virgin Islands alleged that the bank maintained a business relationship with Epstein for an extended period, disregarding a multiple internal warning signs of his 2008 admission of guilt in a Florida sex crime. Liu contended that as early as 2006 that the bank had amassed extensive financial data related to Epstein, which served as a substantiated his involvement in sex crimes involving children. Disgusting pig. J.P. Morgan has vehemently denied having any knowledge of Epstein's involvement in a sex trafficking operation during his tenure as client. Of course they're going to deny it, but you know for a fact that they do know it, and they need to pay the price. The names need to be released also of the list of people who were on that island, who was on that plane, like Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, everybody. The bank has also retaliated with an allegation of its own, claiming that the high-ranking officials in the territory extended favors to Epstein, including tax concessions and waived sex offender monitoring requirements in exchange for financial incentives, according to Daily Beast. J.P. Morgan's filing revealed that Cecil D. Jong, however you say that, Yon, the former First Lady of the territory, managed Epstein's affairs while her husband served as territorial governor. Epstein also made notable donations donations to local politicians, including Democratic Virgin Island delegate Stacey Plaskett, and that's all it is a bribe. Every one of our politicians are corrupt, be it Republican, be it Democrat, whatever, because they're probably a mix of both on that island. They're all corrupt. They all need to go. We need to start over. Felicia Ellsworth, representing J.P. Morgan, argued that it was inappropriate for the judge to determine the bank's knowledge before the trial. Also contended that the U.S. territory lacked the legal standing to file a lawsuit. Get the hell out of here. You know, if you watch some of this stuff and see what they just said about that the judge determined the bank's knowledge before the trial, which we have the same thing going on right now with the Georgia judge has said repeatedly that Trump's guilty and the case was not even in front of her. So that should be the same thing, right? Of course, because there's two tiers of justice in this country. She also argued that J.P. Morgan had notified the feds about Epstein's transaction multiple times, including as early as 2002. Nothing was done. Ellsworth went on to challenge the Virgin Islands' claims that their client had impeded investigations into Epstein, asserting that the bank had proactively pursued information from the federal authorities concerning the ongoing inquiries into Epstein's behavior. The legal battle awaits U.S. District Judge Jed Rakoff verdict on Thursday's motion. A decision on expediting the resolution of major legal disputes is expected by the end of September. Now, you know this is all just a cover-up. The feds cover up everything for Democrats on the Trump side, and now they're going to cover up for everybody who was on that island, who was on that plane that flew to the island, which they knew what was going on that island. So if you were on that plane, you're doing something that is disgusting, and you need locked up for it and treated as such. Every one of those government people, everybody in the plane, needs to be registered under Megan's Law. They need charged, they need imprisoned, they need treated just like everybody else that would be doing something like that would have got caught doing it here. They just moved it into an island where, of course, nobody caught them until now, until Epstein got killeried in prison. So let me know what you guys think. I'm tired of these stories getting buried. Nobody talks about them anymore. They try to cover it up by silence. So let me know what you guys think. You got any questions or comments, please leave them below. And I'll keep an eye on this and every other story. You know I will. I'll get it out to you as soon as I can. So in the meantime, this has been The Talking Point with the Country Conservative. I'm Charlie, and I'll see you next time.